Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another episode of 13 Cars Subject to Change. I know people are so used to a different voice doing this. I wonder if he's here today.
How's it going, Jesse?
Ah, there he is. Zach is back, and it's funny because Zach is back.
And Leroy's not.
While Leroy's gone.
Were those matinee tickets to the symphony, or like, I mean, could he have just come and done the show and then gone to the symphony?
To be fair, when you're as old as the beginning of creation, matinee is the best you got to do.
Yeah, that's a very good point. Well,
because you can't wheel his old ass down there at night.
Well, anyway, we got a lot to get to. Folks, I just want to say, you spend a lot of time, and I had like 2 weeks to write a show. Mm-hmm. You spend a lot of time doing it, and then you wake up and you get a message from the Professor Gene, and you go, well, that throws my whole plan out the window. Yeah. Folks, normally we like to give them what they deserve, but Leroy will probably want to be here for it, so we'll do a 10-bell salute next week.
We'll do it next week.
But we'll talk about it today. Jesse, we were told this morning there's no details or anything, but 60 years old, we lost the suicidal, homicidal, genocidal, death-defying Sabu passed away this morning. Fame in America mostly through ECW. Correct. And his rivalries with countless people down there.
Taz, Rob Van Dam.
Were you more of a Van Dam or a Taz rivalry? Because I mean, he was great in both. They were great both.
The short-lived one in ECW with Rey Mysterio, which was fucking great.
Yeah.
His probably best rival was RVD, just because, like I told people, when you watch the in-ring work, I mean, they weren't just telling stories; they were telling a legacy, man. And so, of course, Taz is pretty damn emotional, and I understand that's one of his best friends. Like, and
shout out to his uncle, by the way, who we've met and everything.
Great, who was kind of gave us some insight on him, and much love to the family. I like it. Just this one is a shock, but to be fair, and I'm not.
So you and I talked about this off camera. Like you said, and this was well documented. He was pushing for that last match to retire.
I think he knew.
I think he knew that he was on very, very borrowed time. Anyway, before we get to the sort of basics of his career, Jesse, there's no one that defined extreme probably more than him, and that's not an insult to a guy like Sandman. I think even Sandman would tell you, when people think ECW, they think Sabu.
Oh,
without a question.
Without a question.
That's the guy, bro. I mean,
the lights go out, you hear the Arabian guitar, and all of a sudden the lights come on, and there he is about to do some craziness.
It was Bill Alfonso was his manager for a while, yeah.
He used to switch a lot between him and Rob Van Dam.
Yeah. I mean, Jesse, it's worth mentioning, it's failed multiple times since, but that's a guy who made a barbed wire massacre match work in America.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I don't think people realize.
I think a lot of what they picked up from their time and doing that stuff in Japan and things of that nature was the simple fact that, like, you can basically make it feel as real as possible while protecting each other.
Well, but here's the thing. We always talk about, there were cuts and scrapes and injuries later in life, but a lot of the ECW guys, they weren't having these crazy injuries that we see throughout, WWE and AEW these days.
No.
And what's so unique to me is like you said, that roster will never get loved the way that it should.
And they should. Right?
And I get why